People can only love you the way they know how. This morning was pretty amazing. This is day 20 of this Radiate 80, and I've really given myself 80 days. And anybody who's joining along, whenever you decide to start, and for however long you choose to do you, meaning giving yourself however many days you deem you want to. How about for the rest of our life? But this 80 days for me is just really checking in with me. The things, excuse me, the things that I know that I love to do, that I incorporate in my daily life, that I've done for decades. Some of those things sort of let fall by the wayside. Some of those things I still do every day. But during this 80 days, I am really focusing on giving me this time every single day to be authentically me. And this morning when I woke up, I did that again. And again, this is day 20, right? And I'm not putting this into a short today because there's just so much to say. And I feel like I continue to try to get them into these little 3-minute segments. That is just so not necessary. Me being authentically me is just talking and allowing the things that I have in me to come out of me because they're not just for me. And that's what I love about a community. That's what I love about, a collective of people, a tribe, whatever you want to say. And to me, that's humanity, by the way. That's not, let's split us up into little sections on this one believes this one believes that. How about I just honor and respect what you believe and encourage you in your walk. And so this morning, let me just tell you what happened this morning, because it was just so good, because I opened YouTube and I was about to do a video, and when I'm doing a video, I literally just want to speak from the heart. I want the things that are supposed to come out, because the whole purpose of doing this is to be able to allow my journey to benefit anyone who will listen or who resonates with me. And if I don't resonate with you, if I'm just not your cup of tea, scroll to the next one. Don't torture yourself. But I gotta just say, the joy of having a community and that's the whole goal of this, is to be able to have folks who just agree or feel comfort or choose to say, yeah, I do want to have a connection in a collection of folks that really do want the best for me, that really do want to encourage each other, that really do want to, it's like, just be good, be kind, be great, and be honest and authentic and share real life situations, because that's how we are able to have fun with each other. That's how we're able to get through difficult times. That's how we're supposed to be able to enjoy the great times. So anyway, I woke up this morning and I had opened YouTube, and usually I don't open YouTube before I start a video, but I did. And there was this most precious video of dads and their daughters at all different stages of life. And the love was just flowing, and it was just an amazing video to watch. And as I'm watching it, I am welling up, and I have this lump in my throat, and I'm about to say to myself, immediately about to say to myself, get yourself together. This light is still doing the funky stuff. I got to buy a new one. Okay. As I am feeling this lump in my throat, I immediately tell myself, come on, get yourself together. Why? Because I've gotten through all this, because that wasn't my experience, by the way. The video I watched was beautiful, just not my experience with me as a young person, and as the years went on, so to speak. That was not my experience with my childhood. So as I'm watching these parents with their children, and this immense amount of love and support, I am literally got this lump in my throat, and I can feel the tears about to just come pouring out. And I say to myself, immediately, get yourself together. Like, been there, done that. You've already gone through, you've dealt with this, like, you're good. And I caught myself. And I really do believe it's because of this 80 days where I have just been consistently allowing me to be me, just consistently giving me that time with me and the divine, me and my source, me and God, me and my creator, and just being still. And how interesting that this video, I don't think anything is coincidence, by the way. Nothing. And I love that even if you're watching this video, this is not a coincidence that you and I are connecting right here and right now. And if this resonates with you, like, let me know. Like, what is it? The thumbs up thingy or a comment you can make? Like, let's encourage each other, right? So here I am about to bawl my brains out, I feel like, or my eyes at least, and for no apparent reason. Like, I don't even know why I feel the need to cry. It was a beautiful, lovely video. And instead of me saying, oh, come on, get over that. Like, we're good. Keep it moving. I acknowledged that this came to the surface for a reason. And when something comes to the surface, we have two choices. We can either push it right back down, keep it moving. We got this. We're strong. We're good. Been there, done that. Got a t-shirt for it. Or we can acknowledge, gee, why is that coming up? Gee, why do I feel the need to cry? Gee, what is this lump in my throat? Wait a second. And so that's what I did. And I just cried. And when you allow yourself to recognize that, oh, there's still some shit. Yeah, let me say it. Deep down in there. When it rises up, allow yourself to embrace it. And when you do, that allows you to let it go, because there's so much great stuff that I need, that I want, that I desire, that I know I already have, but cannot function in it because there's other things that are still functioning in me that are taking up that space. So I owe it to myself. You owe it to yourself. We owe it to ourselves that when things come up, that we don't just push them back down, or I got this, or I'm strong, or that's not going to continue to be an issue in my life. Well, it came back round. Knock, knock. Hello. It's right there on the doorstep, in your throat, eyes about to bawl. Don't even know why. Like you're driving down the street, a song comes on the radio, and you are bawling your eyes out, and you don't know why. Or maybe you do know why. And instead of embracing this thing, you stay sad and push it back down again, instead of saying, you know what? Thank you for this journey. Thank you for that part of my journey. Because I tell you, every single part of my journey, the one thing that I know is that, well, I feel like I don't know anything, to be very honest with you, because I keep learning and growing and figuring it out more and more. And when I do, it just becomes such a great revelation of, you don't know jack. And being in that position of admitting that, you know what you think you know might not be everything you need in life, and just to keep allowing yourself to grow and to learn. If you teach a child how to learn, because we all have different stuff going on, but if you teach a child how to learn, I remember doing this with my own son. I remember I had this quote on my refrigerator for so long: teach a child how to learn, and they'll learn everything that they need to know. And that's really true, because we don't all learn the same way. And we don't all let go of our traumas the same way. We don't all function. Some people need to peel back all the layers and talk about everything before they can get through whatever difficulty that's still, hanging on somewhere. And others just want to keep it moving and let it go. And they too can let it go with just a simple acknowledgement and moving on. So we all have different ways of doing this. And the joy is to love people where they're at. Like, I have no proof of what I'm about to say, but I absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, like, just have this intense feeling inside of me that I chose my family, that I chose my parents before I came here. I might be nuts. I don't know. And I can't give you any proof or verification or validity to that statement, except that it's just something I just feel so deep down inside. It's like, it's strange, but it's like a remembrance, like a recalling. It's like I feel like I chose them. And the one thing I got to say is that when you realize that people can only love you the way that they know how, you're not upset or sad or mad at whatever you've gone through. As a matter of fact, the sooner we learn this, the better, at least for me. Every single thing I have gone through, and anyone who knows me knows I've had a very, very interesting life. I have had hardships like many would never dream of. I've been in situations of should have died, should have been gone, should have been gone. Sorry, wrong context, but the song just popped in my head. And I've also lived out some of my most amazing dreams and done anything I've deemed I want to do in regards to, I'm going to live my best life. What's interesting about that is I really do believe that everything that we go through, especially the difficult stuff, especially the stuff that really hurts, especially if there's people that are, supposed to love you, or that you wish loved you, or that you love, that just don't love you back the same way. That's okay. First of all, if they don't, it's okay to let them love the way they know how to. And if it doesn't include us, if it doesn't include you, if it doesn't include me, to allow that to be, meaning that's the reality. If we're going to keep holding on to, I wish they would love me this way, whomever that might be, you are going to continually set yourself up for what appears to be rejection. You're going to continually set yourself up for what appears to be, there's a lot of different adjectives we could put in this position right now, but it's just a setup for failure that makes no sense. It is such a beautiful thing to love people with all of their flaws and to be so attached to who created you and the mission and the reason why we are here. Because I know the thing that I love so much is when I literally run into complete strangers. And so many of you who know me have been with me when this happens. Complete strangers who just pour their heart out to me. And sometimes people just want you to listen. And a lot of times that's just what I do. I just listen. But when there is an opportunity or a time when that person is requiring or requesting a response or asking a question where I have the answer, the cool part is I actually have an answer. And I don't even know if it's the right answer, but it's because I've actually gone through what they're going through. And I don't just tell them because I have a textbook answer because I read about it somewhere. I'm actually with conviction sharing with that human being that is in such need of some kind of information that's relatable, that can help them. And because I've been through that crap, been there, done that, with conviction can share that I not only understand what they're going through, but this is what I did and this is how I healed. And healing's a journey, by the way. You think you're healed, and sometimes you wake up in the morning like I did today and watch a YouTube video, or you're driving down the street and a song comes on and you are bawling like a baby. Yay. Thank you, Father. Thank you, God, for allowing that feeling to bubble back up. And that I'm not going to push it back down. I'm going to embrace it. Yeah, that made me sad. And when I embrace that, and if I cry or whatever emotion comes along with it, and sometimes there's no crying in baseball. Sometimes there's no crying in emotion. Sometimes it's just about recognizing, yeah, you were hurt. Yeah, that makes you sad. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Yeah, I don't know why they do this. Yeah, I don't know why I did that caused this. Whatever it may be. Sometimes you're mad at you, right? Let's just be honest and real about these things. And so to be able to just say, you know what? That is how I feel. And I am sad. But instead of assessing blame, like so-and-so did this to me, this was my childhood, why does my mother, brother, father, sister, son, daughter, friend, husband, wife act like this, do this, leave me, stay with me, and cause me injury, and anything in between, that ability to embrace that, the honesty of that hurts simultaneously, doesn't even sound right, at the same time, gives you a freedom to let it go. I don't know how it happens. I don't know why, but it's like the ability to embrace and acknowledge something that is just deep down still hurts no matter how much you've gotten through it, especially when someone has moved on. And I mean that from a physical sense. They've passed away. They're not here with us anymore. Those who have moved on, sometimes it's the people who are left behind that have the most difficulty, right? And it's in that when we think about someone who's either moved on physically or just moved on from us, when we think about them, think about all the things that you love. Don't think about how they hurt you. Acknowledge that they hurt you. Acknowledge that made you sad. But once you do that, and that allows you to not let that sadness take up space in you anymore, take up valuable availability for joy and for peace and for dreams and for everything else in abundance that you need or want in life. When we decide to do that, now it opens us up to love them, but mostly to love you. Because when you embrace what has hurt you, when you embrace what has done you wrong, when you embrace a circumstance that just caused you devastation in any way, shape, or form, and maybe not even devastation, maybe just a little sadness. When you embrace it, you now have the opportunity to say, am I going to hold on to this? Or am I just going to freely let it go? You don't have to work at it. You can just make a decision, keep it or not. It's sort of, so let me just tell you this. I don't know if you can see this. I have a little, can you see that? Yeah. It's just this little like baby cowgirl boot or whatever, cowboy boot, right? Cowgirl boot, I guess I'm wearing it. And somebody gave this to me a super long time ago, and I was like, what? Like, random, but thank you. I was grateful. A gift is a gift. And I kept it. I mean, it's gold, and I kept it. And I was like, And where I was at the time was very beautiful and rural, and there was acres upon acres that I lived on. Not to mention, when I walked every morning, I would walk past cows, and I would walk past horses, and there'd be dogs, and there were goats. It was beautiful, and I loved it. And somebody gave this to me, and I always thought, like, I'm probably never going to wear. That's just really not me. Although I loved everything about farm life. Everything. Love it, love it, love it. But today, when I saw it hanging there and I was getting ready to come on, I looked at this boot, this cowgirl boot, and it made me think, get back on the horse. And I put it on with that kind of get back on the horse. But why would I want to get back on the horse with all this luggage and all this baggage? How about I just ride free? How about I don't burden the horse I'm on, the person you're currently with, the people that do love you, that do care about you, that want to be around you, that want to share life with you? Why would we burden them? Maybe it's just time that every time that feeling of something that hurt us comes up, we just decide right here and now, we just sort of like lock eyes. We just say, you know what? Let's you and I do this. Let's do this. It made me sad. It hurt me. Yeah, I know. That was 46 years ago. Yeah, I know that was 6 years ago. Yeah, I know that was 6 minutes ago. But I don't think I want to carry this luggage, this baggage with me because it's really a burden and I just need to let it go. And when I do, I allow for joy. I allow for peace. But most importantly, I allow for me to have the people who want to come into my life that want to be in my life. I allow for love to flow in my life because the things that hurt no longer have to stay with me. And where does the past live anyway? Right here. The past lives in our mind. That's where the past lives in my brain. Even the future lives in my brain. It's all we have is right now. And so right now, you can decide if you want that, you know what, I just am not going to be sad about this anymore. The second I decide I'm going to choose that I don't want to be sad anymore about something, it's not about controlling my feelings. It's just now gives love and opportunity and freedom the ability to live in me. I'm making some room for joy. I'm making some room for peace. And there's nothing wrong with having a time of sadness, having a time of being hurt, having a time of this emotional difficulty happening. Nothing wrong with that. But are we going to live in that past? Just saying. And love them. I cannot express this enough. Whoever you feel like you've been hurt by, when you embrace and when you acknowledge that you were hurt and you decide you're going to choose not to be hurt anymore, you're going to just let that go. And by the way, it does seem to require forgiveness. Sometimes it's forgiveness of yourself. Sometimes it's forgiveness for somebody else. A lot of the times, it's a little bit of both. Yeah, both parties or all parties need to have some grace and forgiveness, right? But the forgiveness is, okay, I forgive them for hurting me this way. And hurting people hurt people. Why should we perpetuate and carry that hurt with us? Let's get back on the horse. Let's let the horse be free. Let's let us be free. Let's just say, you know what? I don't need that. As a matter of fact, what ends up happening when we do this, not only do you start to clear out your mental and your heart capacity to be enlarged and freed up for what you really need and enjoy and want to have an abundant, beautiful, fabulous life, to do things that excite you, to do things that make you have so much joy. Yet also at the same time, the people around you get to experience who you really are. Not the hurt you, not the sad you, the you you're meant to be. I love being authentically me. And I can only do that if I am honest enough with myself. That's what this Radiate 80 is all about. And 20 days, so this is just about 3 weeks. They used to say, or they still do say, I believe, that 3 weeks to make a habit. It is just a beautiful habit to incorporate, to give you the ability to be authentically you, to be authentically me, to be authentically we. We like you and me, and we like me and my divine, me and my source, me and my creator, me and God, me and Yah, me, who now has the ability to love because I'm taking that time, that the way that my creator created me, he said, I and my Father are one. Jesus had this thing right. Yeshua had this thing right. He had that Christ conscious. By the way, Christ is not his last name. It is in Greek, it literally means anointed. And he understood that kind of consciousness. He understood this thought process. He understood what it meant to be one with his creator. He understood what it meant to transcend all of this. He understood what it meant, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He understood what it meant, that it's not what goes into your body that destroys you. It's what comes out of your mouth. It's not goes into your mouth, what comes out of your mouth, right? I could go on and on about a lot of biblical scriptures that prove to me that there was somebody who walked the face of the earth that completely got it. But I also know that there's other very sacred words that have come out of other amazing people who also got it. So I'm not here to say that there's just one way and this is the only way and your way is right and your way is wrong. I would love to unite. I would love to be in a place where I don't think that just you think or I think I know what we're supposed to be doing. How about we share this journey and encourage each other, and that we're not going to all walk in the same way. That's okay. And if somebody doesn't want to share it with you, that's okay. But whoever does, let's get a community. Let's be in community. Let's enjoy that. And let's check and see what we're radiating. What are we shining? Everybody is shining their light on something. What are you shining your light on? Sometimes we don't realize it every morning, every day, sometimes all day, every day. We're shining a light on our own sadness, on our own hurt, on our own pain. We have the opportunity to shine our light on love, on freedom, on recognizing that what if, work with me here for a second. What if everything we've ever gone through, we were supposed to go through? It is for the greater good. It is for such a beautiful purpose. What if we looked at everything we've ever gone through, good, bad, or indifferent, to be so much a part of your journey, to allow you to be your authentic self, that you can share, that you can say, that you can honestly tell somebody about the bad stuff and it's okay. And you can honestly tell somebody about the great stuff. The highlight reel is not about everything good. The highlight reel is everything we go through. Not everything we stay in. That's not a highlight reel. When I hear people talking about the same problem, the same drama, they're talking about other people pretty much regularly. Nobody else is good enough. Nobody falls into their, oh my goodness, and they don't do anything wrong. Just saying. We're not all like that, but sometimes we are. And we got to just recognize it and be in a position to say, I'm supposed to go through it. I love the scripture that says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I love that scripture. You want to know why? Because we're not supposed to pitch a tent and camp and hang out in the valley of the shadow of death. We're not supposed to be in that place of the thing that has brought you to your knees. And it's okay if something's brought you to your knees. It's about rising up. It's about shining. It's about being grateful. Even for the most devastating things that happen. Can you imagine if every single person who has gone through some horrific experience chooses to not let it dictate their past, dictate who they are now, and instead can be a beacon of light for anyone else who has had to go through something as devastating, where you can stand there and say, this is how we do it. Right? Wouldn't that be amazing? And there's no time on how long. But for me, I've already done things way too long. I've already let certain things, for me to hold on to them for way too long. So the sooner the better. For me, the sooner the better. Let it go. Let it go. And love the people. Forgive the people. Love the circumstance and forgive the circumstance. Not because of what happened, but because it has caused you to be who you are now. And not the one who's going to continue to stay in hurt and pain and sadness and continually talk about what has happened to me, because that's why I am the way I am. But to say, this is what happened to me, and I am stronger because of it. And I do believe that the purpose that it happened, even though I don't understand why, is great. is amazing. Why? Because I believe the one who created me is great and is amazing and doesn't want any harm to come to me. And I don't believe that there's a God in the sky saying, that's not right, you sinner, you. I don't believe that for 1 second. I love that the one who created me loves me. Loves me so much that I see that love and realize that no matter what I go through, that love is what saves me. And I am the only one who can choose that Savior, that love. Here, now, not in the by and by, not when I die. And, you're supposed to go to one place or another. What about the fact that heaven is right here on earth right now? Now, right now. What are you going to do right now? Stop waiting for, well, it'll all be better in the next life. Right now. What are you doing right now? People tell me all the time, well, I prayed for that and I prayed for this and I'm waiting on God and I'm waiting on God. You do it. You do it. Prayer without action. Not exactly sure what that's all about. You know what I think that's about? That's just for you. That would be just for me. Well, I prayed about it. Okay, but I have no action correlating with it. I'm not taking any responsibility. I'm not doing anything. And it's not even about figuring things out, because when you realize that you're not broken, there's nothing to figure out. It's just about deciding what I'm keeping and what I'm not. It's just about deciding what I can learn, how I can grow from that. Or do I want to stay stifled and stuck? And let me tell you, that stifle, that stuck, that trauma, it embeds in you physically. And until you just let that go, the weight stays on you that you gained, that you don't even know how because you still eat healthy. Wait, what? Or the heart problem that no doctor can figure out. That's that heart problem. Yes, it's physically happening to your physical heart, but that's a spiritual problem. I'm not giving any kind of medical advice. I'm sharing my own wisdom. That pain in a certain place, it might be because the dis-ease in our inability. No, let me correct that. We all have the ability in our choice to not be able. It's like responsibility, responding to the ability. You got it in you, baby. You can do it, whatever it is. Whatever you got to get through. But the joy is still about getting through it. And not about, oh, I'm going to forget about this. But that when you're reminded of it, it no longer takes up the part of you that could be used for greater things. It now comes up in a way in which is your strength, in a way in which is part of your journey, and it's part of who you are, where you're not ashamed of that or sad about that or hurt about that anymore. It's, yeah, that's what happened, and this is what I've done with it. Wow, that's really good. That's what's happened, and this is what I've done with it. Yep, getting a little emotional. And I am loving that on day 20, this is authentically me. Be authentically you. Because that joy can't help but bubble up when you're honest enough with yourself to say, oh yeah, that's still there. Oh yeah. Let me look at me with the eyes of who created me. Let me see the perfection of who I am. Let me see the beauty of why I was created, why I'm here. Let me be authentically me. I hope whoever is here listening, and especially if you're listening at this point, I think we're like a half an hour in. This is 10xing my normal 3-minute shorts. I love that this is what I get to do. I love that me being authentically me can serve humanity. And I'm encouraging you to be authentically you, because as we do that, everything that we know that we're supposed to do, that we want to do, that we love to do, that brings such a peace. And people always say, oh my gosh, you work so hard. I don't work. That's what this is, work. Work is love made visible. Not, I gotta go to work. I don't think I've ever felt that in my life. I actually haven't. And for those who don't know me, I've just always walked to my own version of what I think, or where I think income should flow from. And I'm not saying going to a job is wrong. Absolutely not. We have to pay our bills. But I am saying that if we choose to, we can allow that abundance, including finances, that abundance, including feelings, that abundance, including peace, joy, that abundance, including problem solving, because you are constantly encouraging, when you choose to be still, when you choose to be at one, when you choose for you and your creator to be in divine alignment, when we choose that, when I choose that, I am now positioned, the GPS, the God positioning system, I am now positioned for everything I need to flow in and through me. And I'm not hoarding or feeling the need to make sure I keep it so I don't lose it. I actually know that I've been given finances to give finances. I've been given love to give love. I've been given wisdom to give wisdom. You are a distribution center. And when you get past the scarcity mindset, I have had so many people say to me, I don't understand why you're not stressing, that you don't even know where your next paycheck is coming from. What is this, owning your own business and you have no idea, no one's giving you a paycheck. I'm always getting paid. And what I'm encouraging all of us to do is to be paid to be you. Yeah. And if you say that's not possible, well, this might not be for you. But it is possible. It really is. Gosh, I really did enjoy coming on and just not stopping myself at 3 minutes and allowing these things to flow through. And if it resonated with you, yay, I'm so glad. I've got so many ideas that are running through my head of what I want to do and how I want to establish a place for all of us to come together who resonate with the things that I'm saying, and some meditations I know I really want to put the time in to do. All the things that I want to do, I'm going to do. I'm going to do them, and I'll share them with you as I do them and let you know, because I really do know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't even feel like the time that I spent wallowing in some sadness of some things that has happened was bad. I don't. It has now given me yet another tool, another part of my journey that hopefully somebody, because I don't think I'm just going to be talking to a few. I see the millions. And in that, if one person receives what they need, woo-hoo, then we're doing it. We're doing it, and we're doing it well. All right, guys, I love you. I mean it. I love you. And I do hope that today you decide to be authentically you and shine.